Alright, so first thing is right here on the first page, Venus Project proposes an alternative vision of what the future can be. So right here, of what the future can be. Would also recommend removing new, so it becomes to achieve a sustainable world civilization. This just avoids new world order BS, you know? Next is in a continuation in of the same catalog of problems. So just remove in a continuation of the same catalog of problems. Remove in. Next is to decapitalize this F in featured. Would also recommend to add a period, considering this has a question mark up here. It's not highlighting. And this has a question mark, so I'll just say put a period here. Would also recommend featured on BBC News Technology. On, O-N. Would recommend this sentence be changed a bit. Cooperatively seek out new alternatives with a relative orientation for improved social arrangement. So I would put alternatives which are oriented towards improved social arrangements. So oriented, remove relative, remove with a, and remove for. The other point I was going to make is it seems a couple times on this first page, this part up here of a paragraph is fine, it's aligned to the left, and the last sentence is aligned left and right. You'll see the larger spaces between it. So normal spaces, larger spaces. And it is similar in this first paragraph. Normal spaces align left in these top sentences, and the last sentence is aligned left and right. So you see what I'm talking about. Alright, so just for consistency, we're now on page about, and then clicked on this best of money can't buy, and consistency in commas, and that is to not put a comma at the last word right before and. So this one remove, and there is another one. Somewhere. Okay, but anyway, I'll move on to the next thing. Resource-based economy, recommend capitalizing all three of these words always. And also earth. Where is earth? Earth here needs to be capitalized. And here is the other comma. So this comma, go ahead and remove before and this comma, go ahead and remove. Alright, we're now on page resource-based economy. From clicking on about, resource-based economy. And what is a resource-based economy? For consistency throughout the site, probably should be a dash or no dash at all, up to you guys. First thing, the in THE, the T should be capitalized for the Venus Project. It is a title. Resource-based economy again here, if you want to put a dash and everything. This credits should be credit with no S, I believe. So use of money, credit, barter, or any other system of Plentiful resources, put an S here. Again here, capitalize resource-based economy, and as you can see it has a dash. So I would put U.S. So a period. Not a big deal, but it seems to have done it again. This paragraph, normal spacing, left alignment, and then this last sentence, last two sentences, is left and right alignment, or at least this part here. Why is it not? As you can see, the spaces between each letter. Again, capitalize resource-based economy, and again it is a dash. This has nothing whatever in common. It should be whatsoever or just delete whatever. So nothing in common. Governance has nothing in common with the present aims. Alright, again, resource-based economy. And it looks like this top sentence has some weird spacing, but obviously not a big deal. This one, instead of machines displacing people, comma, they would shorten the workday, comma, increase. So just a comma, because otherwise it says instead of machines displacing people, they would shorten the workday. Not a big deal. Next paragraph, resource-based economy, resource-based world economy. Okay, so resource-based, never mind. Here's same sentence. Efforts to develop new, comma, clean, comma, and renewable source of energy. I would, for consistency, remove this comma. Again, last comma before the and. Another one, resource-based economy, capitalize. And again, if you want to do it, here's an extra comma. Next paragraph, what else would a resource-based economy mean? So again, capitalism. Again, at the end of this paragraph, resource-based economy, capitalize. Here, choice is good, but instead of hundreds, so make this instead of it's only by itself. Choice is good, comma, lowercase b, make it one sentence. Here, back at the top of the page, Paradise or Oblivion in quotes, you put the period inside the quote. Alright, so this page is working now. It is the About section and the Venus Project. And on this page, the of what the future can be is working, looks fine. And it's just my same recommendation, the Sustainable New World Civilization. I just recommend removing new, but up to you guys. When a few nations control most of the world's resources and the bottom line is profit, comma, the same cycle of events will prevail. Also, this last sentence, all it is Earth is abundant with plentiful resources. It just seems a bit empty of a sentence right there. And it was something like contrary to popular belief or something like that. Earth is actually abundant with plentiful. Something like that. This sentence here, today we have access to highly advanced technologies, but our social and economic system, so comma, lowercase b. This middle sentence here seems to have some weird spacing issues also, like left to right justification. And would recommend a comma here that could easily create a world of abundance, comma, free of servitude and debt for all. Next paragraph, resource-based economy, obviously. Alright, good services are available without the use of money, credit, and as you can see there's no S here, so that's how it should have been on the other page. But money needs a comma after it. Money, comma, credit, comma, barter, or any other form of, yep. Next sentence, self-centered goals of wealth, comma, property, no comma, and power. This use of toward, I would imagine it's used differently in the United States and in Europe, but as you can see, here's the word toward, and here is the word towards. And it's usually one way or the other, just to be consistent. So yeah, the word towards with S is more of an European, which is likely what you want to go with. So you want to add an S to this toward. And where was it? Where am I at? Okay, I found myself. So here's toward needs an S because this towards has an S, and this other towards down here has an S, and I lost it again. Oh, here it is. Alright, so towards, toward. Just an S. Next paragraph, unfortunately, comma, it may. Here's another toward with no S, and that's because this is a mixture of writing between England and America. America has no S, England has an S. If you want to be consistent, just probably go ahead and add an S, but not positive, because TVP material will likely have no S. Store products, comma, which reproduce ourselves. Living wage, comma, living wage are, comma, and always have been, comma, used to produce our materials. Alright, so I was going to suggest it before, but I found it here. Research center is capitalized here, and prior to this it is here is not capitalized, research center. So I would recommend just go ahead and capitalize research center throughout also. Also, another small point, but maybe important, aims and proposals, I would also recommend to capitalize. It's a title and it's a pretty important thing. Alright, and lastly on this page, I'm going to click next, but right here, taken from this nonprofit organization, no period, but I'm going to click next and see what happens. Nothing. Alright, 404, not positive what's going on. So going back, and it could just be an error in the page. Just a reminder, this quick edit here is only doing the front-facing pages. I'm not going any deeper for this first edit. Alright, so the about and aims and proposals is down. I'm going to go to the... Nope, it's working now. Alright, I'm on aims and proposals under the about section, and just a quick one. Remove this last comma before the and for consistency. Again, just quick recommendation, remove new world civilization. Just world... Well, actually, never mind. This one is appropriate. For the genesis, which is a tough word for this audience, for the genesis of a new world civilization. Alright, that is appropriate. That's good. Overall, just looking at this real quick, I would combine this sentence into this paragraph. I would combine probably these... Oops, why does it do this? All three of these together, and they'll just give a more appealing visual to 2 to 3 common paragraphs, and that gives it more appealing visual. Alright, here's another toward a new area of peace and sustainability for all. Through the implementation of a resource-based economy, capitalize. Same paragraph, homelessness, remove the comma, and many other pressing problems. Alright, into an overall holistic socio-economic space design. Not the word space, but put a space between these two. Alright, here it is 21 acre. It's consistent throughout the book, it's consistent throughout much of our media, so 21 acre, and it is actually 21 acres. Alright, here we have a comma outside of a quote, just swap them around, comma inside the quote. No spelling mistake, but this one could be a sticker for people. I understand it, you understand it, but who else does? 90% people in the Venus Project don't understand it. This sentence, efficient, clean, comma, and able to. So just remove this comma for consistency. Before you had this comma on this side of the parentheses, and I think it's correct. I think it's correct to move this comma to the other side of this parenthesis. Here's the word toward. Just recommend putting towards, or whatever you have decided to do throughout the website, toward or towards. Just remember, toward is Americanized or United States, and towards with an S is more of a European-based word. Also, same sentence, encouraging the widest range of creativity and incentive toward constructive endeavor. Possibly put an S, constructive endeavors. Outgrowing nationalism, bigotry, comma, and prejudice. I just remove this comma for consistency. Alright, real quick, this paragraph here suddenly seems to be right and left justified, so you see these big spaces in between compared to this space. Down here, resource-based economy, capitalize. Possibly the rate of progress will depend on, possibly depend upon, not a big deal though. And later on in the sentence it says, people who identify with, and then this comma just has an extra space in between it. With, comma, participate in, remove that comma, and support the aims and the direction of the Venus Project. Oh yeah, that's fine. So anyway, remove this space, wherever it is, and remove this comma. There, no, okay. So here, scientific, comma, or ideological. I would remove this comma, I guess, for consistency. Alright, so here, phase 1 of the Venus Project is the 25-acre design. I'm not sure where 25 always comes up, but it's not 25. verified it many times through Roxanne, and we fixed it in every place we can, but it still seems to pop up sometimes. So anyway, it's 21 acre. And 21 acre design center in still pristine South Central Florida. 25 acre research center in still pristine South would be, and Central would probably be capitalized. I don't know what's up with these commas, but here the person does it correctly. Illustrations, comma, blueprints, posters, books, no comma before the end. And then right later in the sentence they do it, help one see, comma, feel, comma, and touch the future. It could possibly be that, I just don't know. So anyway, this comma possibly remove before the end. Again, later on, consistency, no comma after rodents before the end. It is well insulated and soundproof. Not a spelling mistake, but I claim that probably should not be made. Sound resist, relatively soundproof, something like this. But anyway, not a big deal. And here's another comma. And yet in harmony with nature. So remove that comma, I guess. Another thing, generally, I would say you can combine a lot of these sentences into smaller paragraphs. So 2 or 3 sentence paragraphs. The rule would be 3 sentences per paragraph, but it's not necessary. Well, this one it looks like it has 3 sentences, 4 actually. But anyway, just for a little bit more visual appeal if you want to do it. And those fixes, sorry, were under the Research Center tab from the About button.